warm welcome to autoX. My name is Karan Mathur and the Destini was always Hero's answer to the formidable Honda Activa. It was introduced back in 2018 and over the years it's gotten better styling and features. Now what I have with me here is the thoroughly facelifted 2024 Hero Destini 125. And in this video I'm going to see exactly what it has to offer and if it's finally an answer to the Honda Activa. Now, so let's talk about the updated styling, and Hero wanted this to look more modern and more contemporary, and I think they've managed to achieve it for most part. If you look at the front, you get pretty clean design. This accent right over here, this comes in chrome in the base variants, and in this, the top end ZX Plus variant, well, you get a copper chrome finish. Over that, you also get a two-tier light system. At the bottom, you get halogen indicators, and if you look up ahead, you get a trapezoidal headlight cluster with a H-pattern DRL light and projector headlamps. And if you also look carefully, you also get bronze accents finished in the headlight cluster. Then, if you move further back, you can see that while the front and the back have been given a modern aesthetic, the lines and the side profile are pretty clean. You also get the chrome accents right over here, and then if you come to the back, here is where things get interesting. You get another two-tier light setup, but this has been stylized to a further extent. You get LED tail lights and halogen indicators up front. Then you get a pretty nice comfortable seat with a Rexine finish. You also get a backrest as standard in the higher variants. So overall, I think the design, it's modern, yes, it's contemporary, yes, but I'm afraid it is a design which you will have to get used to. Now, there are other scooters in the market which you can say the design looks pretty familiar to this, but give it time and I think this scooter, the design will grow on you as well. Now, if you get to the dimensions, now you get a wheelbase which is 57 millimeters longer than the previous version, and over that you get a higher ground clearance. And how they've gotten about is the older version you got 10-inch wheels, here you get 12-inch wheels, and these are alloy wheels. You also get disc brakes in the top end version, and while the size of the wheels has gone up by 2 inches, the seat height has gone down. As a result, while the ground clearance and the overall height of the scooter has been raised, the seat height has been lowered so that people of shorter stature do not find it really uncomfortable to sit in. Now, with that, of course, we should get to the ergonomics, and the biggest change which Hero has incorporated with the ergonomics of the Destini is that they moved the rider closer to the front wheel. Now, of course, that has been done to increase the stability and to make the handling better, but we'll talk about that later. Now, of course, my hands do reach to the handlebars pretty easily. However, one thing I do have to mention is the space on the footwell. Now, I have a feet size of 10.5, and as you can see, they just about fit. That means now there's nothing else which I can accommodate more than my legs. You do get a sturdy hook, but it'll be difficult to keep a bag in the footwell. And with that, now they have changed the Destini to give you a more upright riding position, and I think that's helped in a lot of ways to keep you comfortable in longer journeys. Now let's talk about the seat. The seat also has been firmed up in order to help you be more comfortable in those longer journeys. Now overall, I think the ergonomics are pretty sorted. I have a good rider position. I have enough place to move around the seat. The seat height is not that much, and I do get more ground clearance for better riding in Indian road conditions. Alright, so now let's talk about practicality. I already spoke about the lack of space in the footwell. Of course, it's not that bad, but if someone like me who has a size 10.5, you cannot put any other luggage in the footwell itself, but you do get a hook which can carry 3 kgs of luggage. Now, of course, with that, you get a large 2-liter bottle holder, and the way it's positioned, the way the angle of the storage is, I think that's a pretty neat touch because it's not pretty upright. You have a exact angle where you want to keep your water bottle and it falls to the hand easily. So I think that's a pretty neat touch. But one of my biggest gripes is the storage under the seat. Now, this can only accommodate one helmet, while its competitions have moved on to a larger storage area which can accommodate 2 helmets. This only gets 1, and over that, if you keep that 1 helmet, again you have less space to keep other things. Now, during our ride, I did take a backpack to carry my knickknacks, and this is where I stored it. But unfortunately, that was all it could store. There was no other place, and for everyday use and practicality, I think this will be a problem for some riders. But overall, I think it gets its basics right, but it doesn't go above and beyond, and that's a big issue. Now, the position of the bottle holder is such that the USB charging port, which you get right on top, well, you can plug in your wire right over here, and you can keep your phone right over here as well. It's not under the seat anymore. It's been moved to the front stock, and I think that's pretty convenient in order to charge your phone on the move. Now let's get to features, shall we? Now, what's new? Now, the biggest change which you'll notice as soon as you get on board is this new digital instrument cluster, and it is a reverse LCD unit. I think the information which it displays is pretty well laid out. It's easy to find. However, in peak sunlight, there is a bit of glare which does make it a bit hard to read. Now, you do get smartphone connectivity, and you also get turn-by-turn navigation, and over that, as you can see, the button layout and the controls have been updated. You get new buttons. These feel tactile, and they're pretty easy to use. However, I feel they do feel a bit flimsy, and they might end up losing color over time. The quality of the plastics, I do feel could have been better, especially around the instrument cluster area and around the front stock. This is something which you look at all the time. For it not to be up to the mark in terms of quality, I feel will be an issue for some riders. So overall, in terms of the tech and safety, again, it is not a package which really goes above and beyond, but it does get its basics right. So I think it's now time to move on and start riding the scooter and tell you how that goes. So before we get to how it performs, let's get mechanical specifications out of the way. It gets a 125cc single-cylinder air-cooled fuel-injected motor which develops 9 bhp and 10.4 Nm of peak torque. In terms of performance, the highlight of the Destini has to be its city usability. What I mean by that is that the scooter gets off the line in a sedate fashion and shows its true potential only past the 2 to 3000 RPM mark before falling off again in the top half of the rev band. As it was for styling and features, it doesn't go above and beyond in its ability, but once it gets going, you will never have any complaints of using it on a day-to-day basis. It has to be said though that its pulling power is plenty, and that's basically one of its key highlights when you twist the throttle. As for mileage, Hero claims 59 km per litre, and it has to be said during a test in Goa, which had a mix of small and big roads, the scooter didn't even lose a bar of fuel during the entire day's shoot. Only gripe I have is that the start-stop system is a bit too eager and switches off the vehicle even before coming to a full halt. Now, I think the performance can be summed up as fairly brisk, and the mid-end throttle roll-ons are its biggest highlight. You are able to overtake faster moving vehicles, and I think in city traffic, I think it's going to be a pretty handy little vehicle. So with that, let's move on to the handling. So it manages to deal with bad patches of road, deep potholes, and anything that you have to throw at it in Indian road conditions fairly easily. It remains stable. I think the performance is good enough, and it does complement the overall handling of the scooter. And it's the package that we remember. It doesn't do anything extraordinary, but it does everything right. The basics are sorted. So let's move to the verdict, and let me tell you if this new Hero Destini 125 is meant for you. So ladies and gentlemen, the new 2024 Hero Destini 125 is definitely thoroughly updated. I like the new design. The features are definitely right. They get the basics right. Of course, they're not extraordinary, but they're good enough. And overall, the ride and handling is something that we remember. And of course, with the added dimensions, with the ground clearance, with the new wheels, all of it go into the making of a better package than what it was. Now, it does have some niggles in the form of quality, lack of space, but I think it is definitely become a better package to take on the Honda Activa. Now, you need to tell me in the comment section down below which of these three would you choose? The Honda Activa, the new Hero Destini, or maybe the TVS Jupiter. So ladies and gentlemen, tell me in the comment section down below which of these three would you choose? The Honda Activa, the TVS Jupiter, or the new Hero Destini? My name is Karan Mathur. I thank you guys for watching and I'll see you guys real soon.